Hello and welcome back for OTLR round 10, the final season of Division 2. We are here at Austria. I'm joined by Tom Carter, the one and only, and we've got a very intense fight. Well, the guy that's won the championship and the guy that's in for contention right behind him are not racing today. That leaves Brian as our champion for this season. Moving on to the track, it is Austria. We're expecting pole to at least be in the mid threes, 10 turns. Really easy to invalidate in this corner. But expect a lot of 3-second penalties. I think it's going to happen. How much was we'll calculate who gets the most at the end, but I expect it to be quite a bit. Talking about the standings, obviously, uh, Brian Mabremo has won it. Grizzle falling behind by 26 points exactly. So if he was to race today, he would have had to get pole and run the race, which is tough, but definitely has the pace to do it. Uh, I'm, I mean, I'd have to double check that. I'm not actually sure to be honest. But McLaren have also won by landslide as well. I know they both at least have won, so I would actually check that. And speaking of the last race of this season. Sign-ups for season 6 is now open. You do aim for 3 divisions, but depending on sign-ups, it could potentially be 2. But we always love 3. So if you're here and you wanna drive, the more drivers we get, the closer we get to divisions. Sign-up times are Spain and Belgium. If you want to look to race next season, get to practicing. Good times in. Yeah, but he's unfortunately not trying because everyone at chat. It has most P3s. Yeah, and then it goes to P3s, yeah. Alright, everyone just getting their setups. So there's no pressure on Andreas today. The McLaren has wrapped up the title, so he can race his race, just try and do the best he can. I expect Pole to at least be in the from some of these drivers. If he has, speaking of the devil, he is the first one out, or is he? I think that's Cola. Actually, no, it's Ty Clear that gets out just ahead of him. He'll be the first person to try and set a lap. This track can be very difficult. It's luckily not raining. So all the practice that they probably put into this track can be worth it. As he is actually, he's what? Is that actually? Oh my god! So if he was to race and he won and got pole, then I don't know what would that fall down to. Ricky, you're in chat. If they're level 1 wins, P2s and P3s, what is countback gonna go to? Does it go down to P4s or is it something else? Maybe. Maybe he's missed out on a really good opportunity here. Could have won it all. Yeah, well, they're not in the session and both checked out, so they can't race. Yeah, won't be able to race either way. As Dr. Still is starting his first lap, let's see what he can do. He's done some practice around this track, so imagine him to set a banker, probably in the threes, and he can keep it on track. Has a bit of a wobble, leaving that corner. I can't say exiting for some reason. But yeah, we'll see what his first sector split is. It's going to be a 15-8, so he is on course to get a really good banker lap in. maybe tie clear behind him, can get a bit of a toe coming up towards the straight and try and gain a little bit of time as he touches the grass. Although it was marginally, he does lose maybe like half a tenth just from that. It's on the limit here, but how much on the limit can he be coming into the double left-hander? Probably the most difficult part of this circuit. That yeah, as exits that a lap. Dr. Still goes first with a 3.8. Sid is on a lap. Man that is known for crashing into walls, into pits. What can he do? Can he at least be in the top 5? It's right now Dr. Still the only one in the 3s. As Sid is a 10th back from Dr. Still in Sector 1. Sector 2. Can he improve? Can he get the fastest Sector 2? 44.9, so got back by quite a few temps compared to Dr. Still. Imagine it's going to be low 4s here for Sid's day. A few cars ahead of him, some of them going to the pit, so Sid as he invalidates, what would it have been? It would have been a 4.5, which would have put him P4. Lewis is also next. He is on similar times to Sid. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate coming through this last corner. That's 2 temps slower. It's a P6, 4.7. So far, Dr. Still's quali pace has been shining as Rupsy goes P2 and Griffin P3. I think Griffin had a really good last race. I think for a debut, he did really well in qualifying. I think he did. I wasn't here for. I think I was working, but who won that race? Actually, it wasn't nobody. Got a penalty. Oh, okay. So when his debut, he won, but obviously off penalties. But P2 on the grid is obviously good. Currently seeing P3, not that far off Rupsy. Can. Oh yeah, crap! I already forgot about that. That's my bad. I was too busy trying to start the stream. I game about it. I think Mirror is at physically in the Sauber. At the side. But Doctor's still out for another lap already. Definitely has time to find with how scrappy first lap was. He'll be matching his. A bit of alternative end to the season. You don't really see Austria as finale as Mirror sets his time, goes P6, 4.4. Doctor still validates first run and flies back into the pits. Well, that's nobody cares. He jump up quite a few positions. All he has to do is find less than a tenth. Goes wide, invalidates, and that'll be his run over. Would have been a 4 flat. That would have been P2. Wolfren goes P10 with a 5 flat. R. Salguero has actually made qualifying on time. I think he's backed out of his lap though. I'm not sure. He's going a bit slowly and he's charging. So imagine that mirror coming in. On board with Andreas. This is actually the next person who actually crossed the line. RS Salguero puts a delta on the board, but not relative. Going again. That's the fuel for it. Andreas too manages to keep it within the white lines. Crosses the finish line, gets a 5.12. Popsicola might get a nice tow from RS Salguero here as he actually invalidates. And as that was his second running around the track, we'll have to pit to try and refuel. On board of Popsicola. Is he improving, or I think he's back down? So he's back down from his lap. The only driver yet to set a time is Sid. Matches his first sector 1 from his invalidated lap. Do any better. Jack with a 3.7 jumps ahead of his teammate. Ferrari 1-2. Who would have thought that would have happened? Sid now coming towards sector 3. Jumps into the pits. He chooses not to set a lap and goes into Ropsy Cola invalidates his lap. Hype Tech, who I think on a lap, or I think he just set a lap, went 4.9, just behind his teammate by less than half a tenth. Hope he didn't get in the way of his teammate. If so, he gave him a pretty beautiful tow. Still down by half a tenth lap though. Yeah, we'll be restarting at the end of the Berto Tetris. What's he going to do for his second sector? The 10th up. That will jump him up to P7 ahead of the Alpine. Goes P7, sorry, ahead of the Alpine. On a lap. Griffin is improving by just under a tenth. That would put him P3 ahead of Ropsy. If he has time to find in this final few. Doctor still improves sector 2 by 1 millisecond. What can he do in the final sector? Does he improve? Yes, he does by 33 milliseconds. And it's enough, just about to get ahead of his... Oh. Stays behind his team. Sorry, still. Nobody cares, he's on a lap. As well not to invalidate. Cross the line. Would it be into the 3s? No, he improves by just half a tenth. Stays P4. What about tie clear? Tie clear. Second outlap. Might be mirror. They're invalidated, so it won't be him. Griffin on the flying lap, you know, he's charging, so flying into the pits. Same with everyone else, probably for the final run. We'll go on board with Sid. Get to set a time, 10 minutes. Wait, is he on a lap? It's very just. He's on a slow lap. Charging. Probably, right? Oh no, okay, maybe he is on a lap. Oh, and he's improving by 2.5 temps, never mind. That would jump him to P10. I expect the strategy around this track to be a 2-stop. Maybe apart from the front, maybe front 3 would be on the 1-stop. Also, maybe tire clear in P6. We know him to do 1-stop quite often. 2.5 temps goes P10. Well, Sid about to finish his lap. Yes, he does. Goes P6. Just ahead of tire clear. Does he have time to go around and do it again? I don't think he does. How much can he improve by? Up by a 10th. If he keeps that 10th on his delta, he would still stay P14. 40 milliseconds to split between Jack and Dr. Still. PlayStation first Xbox right there. Improving, but he lost time in Sector 2. 68 milliseconds well, above his delta. Still improving, but it won't be enough. Should have avoided his lapping on again. Versus the line, stays P15, but still improves by quite a bit. Half attempt short from Reyes, but I don't think he has time to go out again. Should I do a double out lap since you have 3 laps? It's up to you. Personally, I wouldn't. I would save it in case I make a mistake, but your own strategy, so what you'd like. But also contact is off, so if you did hit him, it would have traction. Mira came out a bit early. It's gonna be the last one to set a lap. Up by a 10th, that would probably jump him all the way up to P6, just ahead of Sid. Had a bit of a slow exit. Hopefully he doesn't lose time from that. Almost 2 temps up, still the 10th and a bit that he is will still currently put him P6. He needs to find at least a few more temps if he wants to jump pretty much up to P4. Can do it. Let's see what this final corner. Uses the track as much as he can, doesn't invalidate. Crosses the line and jumps P6 right ahead of Sid. Reyes next, coming towards Sector 2. 2.5 tenths up in Sector 1, so he would currently put that time would put him nowhere. That's an improvement. Oh no, he's 6 temps up. Never mind. So he could be on for jump quite a few positions here. All he has to do is just not invalidate this final 2 corners. Well, not to. Gonna be a 4.7. 4.8 goes P11. Huggy? Huggy's invalidated him. Might be Jack. Jack is on a lap. Not that much is split between him and Dr. Still. He's no, but he's backed out of his lap after touching the gravel. The other I clear. They're currently sitting P8. Doesn't have to find a chunker time if he wants to improve. Is to get ahead of Sid. I think if you're in the range of the top 5, the one stop might have a chance of working. I think below that, I think the two stop is the option. Also depends what compound of tires these guys choose. Likely improving by a tenth and a bit. That will put him ahead of Sid. I don't think any. Clear goes P8 with 4.2. Andreas retires. Jack improving only slightly. What about Dr. Steele? Dr. Steele's just ahead of him. And Alpine right in front of him as well. Lewis sitting on a 4.7. Qualifying's over. RS Alguero is going to have to find a chunk of time here as Dr. Steele is 2/10 up in his time. So he is likely to grab provisional pole here. Unless he makes a mistake in these final two corners, it's looking like he'll be P1 and then his teammate falling back to P2. As well not to invalidate cross the line. Going to be a 3.5 2/10 improvement. What about Jack? Jack spins just before the pits! And that will be his qualifying run over. Griffin is also improving, but he invalidates his final corner. Rapsicola is not improving enough to try and jump any positions. It is also invalidated. Clear on a lap. He's recharging, so I don't think he is. So that is pretty much qualifying, I believe, as Pipe Tech has invalidated his lap, and so has Rapsicola. That everyone's final few laps has been shut out from either invalidating or spinning. And that is our qualifying order. Dr. Still taking it back right in the last few seconds of qualifying. Technically close. Well, top 10 or top 9 is pretty much all within a second of each other. I imagine Jack would be much closer to provisional pole if he was able to get his final run in. However, invalidating and touching the gravel just ruined his chances of grabbing pole. But P2, pretty good. Will these guys work as a team? Oh my god. Right. You can look what we. The question is, will it be a dry race? Because if it's not, I think I might laugh. Not that many people on the grid today, so right, let's get these Doctor Steel. Oh, just gonna double check this. Make there you go. Everyone's should be ready. If that happens, I'm just gonna quickly run toilet because I know they take their time to ready up. I am back. Predictions on who will win? Wait, Ricky said if you're speaking, do you hear yourself on stream? You're saying? Yeah. Oh crap, you're not coming from stream. I don't think you have, no.
Coming from stream now.
Uh, Hold on.
Well, why wouldn't I have been coming from stream?
I don't know, it might be my headset. Is he coming through stream now?
Hello, hello.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, it's my bad.
Oh, wow.
I think it's from when I do my own personal streams. I think might have been from when I actually had to update my headset. Like I got a new one. I think I just forgot to change it on Streamlabs.
All right.
Oh,
Hello,
there's a
hello,
little.
people. I'm here. I've
Sorry
been here.
guys, I didn't realize you were missing out the voice of Tom this entire time. Sorry about that. My bad.
Long story short, I'm just hoping for a good clear race. Would you do lights out? Because I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with it.
Yeah, that's fine. We should be getting going now. It is 34.
Oh, I raced it over itself already.
Right, we're about to go lights out. Who is gonna get the start of the century and who's gonna bottle their start? So far, it's looking good. Dr. Steele manages to break away. Jack having a bit of lag, falls back everywhere. Oh my god, he's ghosted. What is happening here? Oh, as there's some more cars going off the track. There's two Alpines and a
Yeah.
V car with tyre clear that's
Oh.
gone off. And that will probably, that is so unfortunate for him. He's gonna have to bounce back from that. We have some pretty scrappy fights going on. Look at that gap that's already formed from P8 behind.
Oh, Lewis down the middle.
Oh my god, it's like a NASCAR race here. They're all trying to go full wide coming into this turn right here. The Red Bull and the Mercedes do well as the kick Sauber of Fizzy Boy slows down quite a bit.
Whoa.
And oh my god. Alright then, well, Dr. Still, somebody cares, and Sid's fighting. Nobody cares getting back past Sid. Sid's slowing down in P5. Griffin fell back quite a bit. Whatever happened at the back has started to form a gap. Now we're onto the second lap. Things have started to calm down a bit as Ty Clear is also catching the back of Fizzy Boy. Fizzy Boy is actually chasing down the back of the McLaren. Is he going to try and make a move down there? Yes, he is. And as expected, they
Oh.
collide. That is not a place to overtake. Does well to back down, but I imagine he's going to try and make the same move coming into turn 3, which is technically turn 2. No, he doesn't. He stays behind for now. What about Sid fighting down of somebody cares? Doesn't go for the dive bomb. Stays behind for now. Maybe Sid has learned a thing or two.
Yeah, so driving the Mercedes tonight. He's reserve, I believe. So not sitting back on the grid. He's looking hot the inside of nobody cares at the moment. Doesn't make the move. He's right on the tail though.
Jack having some connection issues, I think, or is it just me? I'm not sure. But P1, Dr. Still P2. But Ropsicola almost falling out of DRS. It won't be good for him if he manages to fall out. Needs to stay within. He is on the hard compound tires, which is the alternative strategy around here. So we'll see how many laps he can go on those hard compound tires.
Oh, Ferraris are scrapping.
Boxer still gets ahead of Jack. Jack goes a bit wide, I think. Are they running the same liveries or running two different liveries? I think they're running two different ones. So Jack with the I think that's
Yeah,
the Monza one.
the two different ones. Yeah.
This Sid has actually got past Nobody Cares and is chasing down Ropsy Cola. Can he get past Ropsy coming up to the straight? Is on the back of him with DRS open. If he has enough battery, he should be able to make the move before the corner comes up. If not, he's going to have to back down. They're both fighting for the corner, almost collect each other. Ropsy Cola has to go to the runoff. And Sid stays P3 for now as we've got some more positions being swapped at the front. Jack getting ahead of Dr. Still. Is this the right call from the Ferrari as they have a bit of a slow moment? Sid drops down to Sid goes to P3, Jack to P2. Positions stayed the same. Nobody Cares tries to make a move around the outside of Ropsy Cola. Tries attempts the switchback, but I think he touched the gravel just a tiny bit and is currently staying P5. Griffin doing well also to stay with the pack after falling back just a little bit.
Getting a whole roll of tissues this time.
It's currently two trains, the back half of the field and the front half of the fields. Will this race be a DRS train or will we see some strategy come into play? I think Jack is still fighting with his teammate. This is allowing the people behind them to stay within the DRS. Is this the right strategy from... Is this the right strategy? Let's see actually what tires people are on. So we've got a few people on hards. We've got Ropsicola, Griffin, Lewis, Mira, and Fizzy Boy. Rest are on mediums. I do expect the one stop. If not, I imagine people will start pitting soon. I can imagine some of the people on the mediums already starting to struggle just a tiny bit. You'll see how much they are struggling as Ropsicola see if he can stay in the DRS. The fact that he has so far in those hard compound tires. Good for him and his strategy. Lewis at the Alpine about to make a move around Albertos, and he does. Climbs up to P7. We got our first penalty as Griffin tries to make a dive on Nobody Cares, but goes a bit wide and goes off track. And Nobody Cares just gets the move back just like that. There's a yellow flag. RS Salguero in the kick Sauber, and there's a
Oh,
virtual safety car. What happened
yes.
there? Maybe a
Yeah, I'm unsure
dive
what happened there.
from occurred. I'm not sure, but RS Salguero is out of this race, and Fizzy Boy just carries on going. So. But with that wing damage, I imagine he pits. I imagine everyone to pit, to be honest now. I
Yeah,
imagine the two-stop is at play.
they could pit. Yeah.
As I don't know if it's me that's lagging or it's some of these drivers, but Jack and Sid right now for me are all over the place. As we'll see, who flies into the pits? Dr. Steele does, so does Jack. So the double stack is not going to work out for them. Sid carries on, but gets a 3-second penalty for going off track. We've got multiple cars staying out. What tyres is Sid on? I don't know if that was the right call in those hard compound tyres. The same for Ropsicola. I don't think he should have pitted. He does go on a second set of hards, I believe. No, he doesn't. Oh, I don't think he's done the right strategy here. I think he's going to suffer from that quite a bit. The virtual safety car is ended and Sid is still on his way. The Sid now leading as Griffin tries to attack Lewis. Yeah, I agree. The hards definitely should have stayed out. Miro, Lewis, and Griffin, all with the right play here. Imagine Dr. Still in the hard allocation of tires, so imagine he'll be doing a hards. That double stack cost Jack a position. He fell back to Rupsicola, so Dr. Still and Rupsicola currently provisional P1 and 2. Rupsicola is a bit behind Dr. Still considering they pitted at the same time. So something must have happened on his outlet. That virtual safety car strategy is now currently all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing to see where drivers stand now as for the end of the race. And it also means that when a safety car comes out at that time, it's really dependent on what tyres you start on, whether you benefit or lose out. V car making a move there on one of the Red Bulls into turn 3.
Clear get heads of Dougie. Doctor Still should follow through soon. Does he have the inside line? Yes, he does. Can he make the double move around the inside of Ty Clear? Yes, he can, as long as he can make it stick. Ty Clear tried to go for the switchback. Can he make that stick? We're on board with Dougie, who has the best field of view as Ty. Oh my god. Dr. Steele nudges Ty Clear out the way. Still tire banging. Ty Clear doing well to stay on track. Yellow flags ahead. That was Albertos, who's on the green. Don't have it. Oh, that's a pretty unsafe rejoin. Still manages to stay ghosted. That is a pretty unsafe region from him, but manages to keep on going. Now chasing down Andreas Albertos into the pits. After that, imagine he's going to be pitting. Griffin getting ahead of the Alpine. Jumps up to P2. They are catching up to Sid. Was 2 seconds. Now 1.2. On those fresher tyres, Dr. Still is now flying through the field. P5.
Yeah, Dr. Steele's making a number of moves now. Not too bad.
What Ty Clear? Can Ty Clear try and make a move down the inside of Rupsicola and hold the line? No, he stays behind just for now. Oh no, who is that ahead of him? That's Andreas, sorry, not Rupsicola. Saying their teammate. Oh, as Fizzy Boy goes into the pits to retire. Sid is now in the pits. This is going to cost him quite a bit. He pitted before he should have, and he also didn't pit during the virtual safety car. So he is definitely going to have to go for the 2-stop again, and he is going to fall, by the looks of it, outside of the points. Is Jack about to go for a risky move into turn 3? Gets past Andreas, but stays behind Ty Clear for now, right up his rear end. Should have the DRS to try and make the move past. Ty Clear knows it is not his fight. He is on the fresher tyres. Hopefully with the connection right now, he doesn't cause a collision, and he doesn't. So right now, Lewis and Griffin, P1 and P2 of this race. Rupsicola fell quite a bit back. Jack also managing to get past him and even gain quite a few more positions from that. So Rupsicola is going to have to put in some work if he wants to stay with the front two. Nobody cares down in P10. Can he try and get past Dougie on this upcoming straight? Try clear at Andrea's pit. Of course, nobody cares. Make the move stick. Yes, he does. His teammate doesn't fight it that much. And Sid also get past
Oh,
Dougie. That is a
go on, Sid.
that's 2 positions there. That's a good move from Sid.
That's a cold move.
Manages to keep within the DRS and is now chasing down. So nobody cares. With 4 attempts, if he stays close on the exit of this corner, he might be able to make a move.
Run a bit deep there, Dougie, as well, so he's going to lose even more time to those cars ahead.
Pipe Tech making a move on his teammate Albertos. Gets ahead now. His teammate trying to make a move down the inside, looks for it but doesn't commit. Sid is currently the only one with a 3-second penalty, 12 laps in. Not that many 3 seconds, which is a good sight to see. Mirror finally jumps into the pits. That allows Dr. Steel and Jack to P3 and 4. There's now only 5 seconds to where they originally were. Griffin and Lewis trading positions left, right, and center. They keep attacking and defending each other like this. It will allow Dr. Steel to catch up much earlier than they probably intended. If they want to at least try and gain a few positions from this overcut, they might need a safety car here. Dougie's in the pits. Nobody cares, and Sid is now chasing down Ropsy. Less than a second is split between Snowbody and Ropsy. Wolfrin's about to make a move, or try to make a move around the inside of Pipe Tech, but stays behind for now. Good camera shot of the wing as they come to the double left-hander. Goes a bit wide. Nobody cares. Finally gets ahead of Ropsicola. Can Sid utilize this? They are fighting for positions here, so I think Sid isn't close enough to try and make a move actually. Just a bit too far back. Dougie now for 3-second penalty for track limits. But if Ropsicola wants to reclaim provisional P3, he has to get past Nobody Cares, both on fresh tyres. However, Ropsicola is on the softer compound of tyres on the exact same amount of laps, so I don't think Ropsicola's tyres will be able to keep up with probably the wear it has now. Imagine Sid to actually get past on this straight, or maybe the next one with those 3-lap fresher hard tyres. Doesn't
Yeah,
make for the move
Sid.
yet.
Sorry, Sid has. Oh, Rubsicona ran a little bit wide there on turn one, so he probably got a warning. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Wolfring picks up 3 seconds also.
The lap 14, the penalties are starting to come in. I think last time we was round here in season 4, I think almost the entire grid had a penalties. I also think I was the last one to get a penalty, and then it started raining, and then that's when I got mine.
Yeah, it's always harder to stay on track when it's raining. Sometimes it can be too slippy.
But with the amount
Excuse
of
me.
penalties we don't have, the improvement from last season Division 2 compared to this season has changed massively. People were able to keep it on track, so the positions won't be gained of penalties, and it'll be all from on track. As something's happened to Ropsicola, he is now falling back by almost 2 seconds and is out of the DRS. So maybe his strategy of pitting early on those hard tyres is really coming back to bite him.
Just everyone seems a little bit spread out now as it stands, except for the leaders. Leaders are close together, but not actually fighting anyone.
I imagine the only people to do the one stop now would be Griffin and Lewis. It might work out if there isn't a safety car, but at the current pace they're going, and with Doctor still catching up rapidly, they're going to need one in the next maybe 2 laps or so. They will still lose positions, but not nearly as much as they would if they was to pit without one.
Yeah, you always sort of want to put under a safeguard, don't you? if it's ideal.
Sid is
You do
pushing
lose
hard with
time.
those fresh tires compared to Snobody's. Maybe not. Nobody cares. Is running the low ring setup compared to Sid. I don't think Sid will be able to catch up on the straights even with DRS. He's gonna have to make the move into turn 4. Looked for it, but doesn't go for it. Isn't close enough. I imagine with Snobody's low wings, he won't be anywhere close enough coming towards the corners. He would have to make the move stick in this upcoming 2, but he breaks a bit early. Jack gets a 3-second penalty. That will be
Oh,
costly. That might have cost him the win, unless Dr. Steele somehow gets a 3-second penalty, but
yeah, that is true. Oh, Rupsi Coda as well.
Popsicola, yeah. So if the front 2 were to pit now, they would come out currently P9 and P10. As Sid gets past Nobody Cares before the straight. I don't know if that was a move or a tactical move from Snowbody. He knows he has the wings to re-overtake. I think he just slots him behind for now. Majority of this track is pretty much straight, so Somebody Cares with the advantage.
I wonder how many laps those cars can actually go. 18, you think?
Sid gets another 3-second penalty as Lewis goes into the pit, but Griffin stays out as Doctor still reaches the back of his car almost within the DRS. Jack also pits as well, possibly to go onto the hard compound tires, which will go to the end. I don't know if Doctor still will pit again. He might either leave it really late and hope for a safety car, or he will pit in the next 2 to 3 laps or so. 11 lap hards, I don't think they'll go to the end. He will have to hope for a safety car or pit for mediums.
These mediums won't go to the end, will they? Do you think
Sorry?
mediums can't go to the end from here?
Uh, no, they can't. No. So, oh, how many laps are left? I can't. Uh, they
Just
might do
about
with a bit of saving.
20.
The person we can use as information is Ropsy Cola. He is currently on 11 lap hard compound tire, medium tires. Sorry, 11 lap
But
old
you can see there
tires.
as well the difference in grip there as Lewis gets past him in the middle sector, which otherwise you don't usually overtake through there.
Imagine Lewis to be flying through the grid now. See how easily he catches up to the back of the mirror and gets that move stick. Gaining at a rate of knots, but he's not close enough to make a move. He would have to wait for the DRS activation zone, which opens now. He makes the move before the even corner's over. Sid gets past, nobody cares. All this
Yeah, it's
flying
just
is
doesn't
allowing
get the
Dr.
move.
Still and Griffin to gain a big gap. Imagine Griffin will pit in the next 3 laps. I think the mediums, with a lot of saving, can last 15 laps. So yeah, I don't think Lewis will be able to go to the end of those tires. I don't think the tire wear is good enough around this track on those
Yeah, I don't think so
tires.
either. I agree with you. I agree with you.
16 laps remaining. Dr. Steele is now within DRS of Griffin. Is Dr. Steele going to pick up his first win of the season?
Just about 16 and a half laps to go. Still all up in the air at the moment. Griffin's doing an amazing job on those hards as well.
If he can hold up Dr. Still for as much as he can and allow Sid and somebody cares to at least gain a few seconds on him, that would be helpful. I think he might just make the move upcoming on the main straight. As Andreas gets past Albertos and Rolfrin as Griffin pits actually, so you got a battle for the last point position between the McLaren, Mercedes, and the Aston Martin. Jack is also building positions, manages to get past Rupsy, going side
Still
by side
boxes.
on the final corner as they collide and Jack spins!
Oh no!
Could be costly for him. He's going to lose out a chunk of time and valuable time as actually Dr. Still pits as well. So all of a sudden with this tyres, no, I think the front two will have to pit as well. So, oh my god, Jack is the provisional leader. I think, no, not Jack, fucking Lewis, sorry. 3-lap medium tyres. If he can save, they can go to the ends. Doctor's still struggling now, losing out a few positions to Ty Clear and Griffin. This cold hard tyres are definitely going to cost him. With his teammate right behind him, he's going to want to try and get ahead of Doctor Still. Try and potentially grab some more points as Doctor Still gets past Ty Clear. How easy does Ty Clear make it for Jack, who is actually out of the DRS, about to get back into it, but all of a sudden, Sid is now leading this race with 15 laps to go. So nobody cares into the pits. Sid stays out. 12 lap hard tires. He will have to pit. He will have to pit again. So as it stands, I think Griffin is actually the provisional leader of this race. He's on the softer compact. He's on the fresher tires, on the medium tires. A few laps of saving, and I think might be able to go to the end. However, with Doctor still on those hards, it's going to be difficult for him. Would we
I think it
potentially
will be
see
really
a
difficult.
Sid win if he stays out?
Nah, he won't be able to get to the end of those. Shit, Griffin and Still need to work together, yeah.
As long as he can save his tires and be within the DRS of Doctor Still, Griffin is in a good chance for P2 here. Imagine with that spin with Jack, imagine his tire web was shot up just a tiny bit, but still, that would be costly later down the line.
All three boxes.
Rupsy Cola is on 16 lap medium tires. So Lewis could go to the end here. But I don't know how difficult it would be as Rupsy Cola has lost out quite a few positions over the last few laps.
Yeah, 16 lap old mediums as well, to be fair.
Earliest to pit. I need to make one stop work, I think. That's if you start on the hards, which I don't think is the right call round here. You want to start on the mediums and then go to like lap 15, 16, then pit. Albertos is trying to make a move on Andreas coming into final two turns as Andreas goes into the pits. But without DRS, Mira is all of a sudden non-charged to overtake Albertos.
Oh!
Alberto Tetris.
Griffin Griffin
Sorry?
nearly rear-ended Dr. Still into turn 3 there. It's so close.
Oh! Wow! That was close.
Yeah, I think that what was before was close, but that's closer.
So I don't think this is the right call from Griffin. He's going to be using his tyres a lot if he keeps braking like that. I said still staying out. Sid is looking like he's going to commit to his tyres and go to the end on them. If he pits now from many point further on, he'll be at a disadvantage. Unless there's all of a sudden a safety car, which if there is, I believe everyone should go into the medium tyres if they have it. If not, probably the hards. I don't think the softs will last those like 8 laps that they would have left of racing. As Griffin gets ahead of Dr. Steele momentarily, but Dr. Steele has to switch back and just stays P3. As we actually got a 10-second penalty for Albertos in the pit lane.
Griffin just needs to stop. He keeps going deep on his brakes, man. Like really deep. He's gonna give himself big damage if he's not careful.
That risk of getting a puncture as well if he keeps driving like this towards the end of the race.
Yeah, well, for sure, for sure.
But this fighting does actually help out Lewis and Sid. Oh, Sid is in the pits actually. So I assume he's going to go into the medium tyres, but this was going to affect him a lot. He probably ruined his chances for at least a podium. And he's going to come out P7. I mean, he has the tyre wear to catch up, but will it be enough? As oh my god, who is that? Is that Rupsy Cola? Rupsy Cola with a puncture in the last corner.
Oh
Spins.
no!
And that is pretty much his race done. Don't go into the track as there's a car coming towards the... As he was past the pit lane as well. So he's got to go
Oh, he's
through
gonna
the
do a whole lap.
entire... Yeah, he's got to do an entire lap.
All right.
Hopefully he gets out the way carefully with the drivers that are still racing. As... Okay. He just gave himself even more damage. Spins around again. I imagine there's going to be a safety car. He has beached himself. He just needs to carefully get to the pit lane and either retire or just keep on going. As Dr. Steele is actually now catched up to the back of Lewis, I imagine he's going to be overtaking him pretty easily with those 9 old medium tyres. Clears into the pit. So we got a bit of a late pits from some of these drivers as we still see Ropsicola in the background just driving backwards. Maybe he's driving a bit too much for someone that has a puncture. He just needs to slow it down a bit. As this actually helped out Lewis as he's got the DRS from Ropsicola defending the middle of the track, keeping that inside line. Can Dr. Steele try and get the switchback? Goes up alongside, doesn't have the inside line anymore. Hopefully he can get ahead before the corner. He doesn't, so they're still side by side through the double left-hander. It's looking like Lewis will keep that, or maybe not. Dr. Steele gets ahead, climbs back up to P1. It's good racing from the pair of them. We got 9 to 8 laps left to go. So far, it's looking
Yeah.
like it's going Dr. Steele's way.
I think Dr. Steele might pull a gap a little bit towards the end.
Griffin would need to definitely get past Lewis here. Oh, it's Dr. Steele gets a 3-second penalty! So all of a sudden, all
Oh,
Griffin needs to do is keep it within track, or nobody cares. But so it can go to either 2 people here. I think it'll go between Griffin and nobody cares here, as Ropsy Cola is still stopped on the track. He is struggling to get back. Can he turn? I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't miss the pits. As Lewis is almost out of the DRS of Dr. Steele. If this happens, this won't be good for Griffin. As I generally think Lewis might get a puncture by the end of this race. 11 laps, yeah, I don't think he's going to make those. I don't think he's gonna make it. We'll see. We'll
Really
see.
close. Really close.
As Dr. Still is starting to gap, which is gonna be pretty bad for Griffin if he doesn't get past Lewis this lap. So Griffin a bit aggressive on the exit of some corners. If he continues to do so and lock up that much, I don't think his tires will go to the end either. But it's looking like Dr. Still is definitely in for the win here with the gap he's gaining at this current time. 2.2 is now the gap between P2 and P1. I don't know if Griffin's playing it safe or he's he wants to at least attempt to get this win. He needs to stay. I, I'm not sure. Let me look at the tires again. 11 lap medium tires with 6 laps left. Lets him pass. If he knows of what's at stake here. 2.7 is the gap. Hopefully he can just gain a bit more time and try and stay within that 3 seconds to grab, which I believe would be another win if I'm not mistaken. I would have to double check.
Yeah, look, Doctor Still's already putting that gap away that he needs.
Yeah, so Griffin won last time out, so he needs to stay within that 3 second if he wants to gain another victory around Austria. 6 laps left. All to play for is actually Snowbody and Jack are catching up to the back of the front. All of a sudden, Snowbody Cares could be in the mix for potentially a podium. All Snowbody Cares has to do is get past Jack as Jack goes into the pits. Obviously, his strategy didn't work out the way he wants. I don't think Snowbody Cares does get the DRS. So that will help him out just slightly. As Dr. Still's lost a bit of time, the gap is now dropping. 2.1 is the split between Griffin and Dr. Still. Robsicola grabs the fastest lap of the race. There is no point for the fastest lap, but it's always good to get something out of this race after having a puncture like that.
It's mad how
Andres
much
is
time you lose from a puncture, isn't it?
sorry.
It's crazy how much time you lose from a puncture.
Yeah. As Mirror pits as well, which allows Andres to jump back up to the final points position, and all of a sudden he's in for a P9 with the penalty that Alberto Tetris is currently getting. Well, he's got a 13-second penalty actually. I just realized. So nobody cares. There's a bit of catching up to do. He wants to try and grab P2. Needs to at least be within 2 attempts currently at this time of Griffin, but with Doctor still gaining, it's looking like it will be unlikely. Likely gets a 3 second penalty. Dropsy Cola is actually in the pits again. 4 laps left remaining.
I think Doctor Still's earned the win today, to be fair, because he's had to pull that gap out himself.
Still is just about on the edge of the 3 seconds. Andreas might be able to make the move on Alberto Tetris now. As the inside line, is he going to keep? I think he does. Or are they side by side? No, he keeps P9 for now. It should stay P9 unless he can gain 1.7 seconds to Wolfrin, and then he might be able to jump another position. 3.6 is the gap between Griffin and Dr. Still. Still unsure if Griffin's tyres will go to the end. I think he might get a last lap puncture here.
Yeah, we've seen that before this season already, haven't we? So I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen again.
So nobody cares. Has caught up. Does he have the tyre wear to get past and also catch up to the back of Dr. Still in his next 3 laps? Unsure at this time. He's going to have to get a move on. Lewis also has a pretty good chance of gaining back to P5 ahead of Sid. So with that 6 seconds, all he has to do is gain 1.6, 1.5, and he's pretty much back in it. If Griffin was to let Nobody Cares pass, he could use Nobody Cares as a slingshot, try and both of them get the win, and also P2.
Yeah, I mean, he could do that, to be fair.
As they're getting
Sid,
pretty much real close. 4 seconds is now the gap. So I don't think he's going to have time to catch up. Nobody Cares stays ahead, but he needs to find 5 to 7 attempts in his next few laps if he wants to get this win, which he lost last time out around Qatar. Five attempts. The time is actually coming down, so all of a sudden this is looking like it's going to be in Nobody Cares' favor here. Won't win it on
oh,
track, but he might be able to get it off the penalties, which no is the side effects for going off track, and Dr. Steel will see how much damage that will cost him at the end. Nobody Cares with this low downfall setup might be able to get it done, as I think Dr. Steel actually made a mistake there. Did he have a bit of a wiggle? His tires are burning up, especially his front right. 3 attempts is the gap for 2 attempts pretty much now. So all of a sudden, I'm starting to sit up as Nobody Cares might be in for a
oh,
chance
it's close.
to
Oh, it's
reclaim
very
his
close.
win. 2 attempts now. As I think Jack also might get a last lap puncture. 17 lap hard tires. It's going to
Nah, I
be
think the halves will
close.
be alright.
But I think Nobody Cares might be able to catch up on this back straight. Or the start finish, sorry. I think he might just about have done enough. As long as he doesn't get a 3-second penalty within these next few corners and this lap, he might be in for a win. And if so, it's going to be a well-deserved win for Nobody Cares. One of the few drivers currently to keep it on track and keep it clean. All he has to do is gain a 10th and a half, and the victory is his. You can see how much he's fighting as that's pretty much cost him. He misjudged his
Oh,
braking, goes a bit wide, and I think that might have just cost him the win. With the Dr. Steel setup compared to Nobody Cares, Dr. Steel is looking like he's going to be taking the victory here today around Austria. As there's a yellow flag of a Aston Martin off track. I believe that is Pipe Tech who spun into the wall, probably with a puncture. Not sure, but we'll go on board with Dr. Still. There is still a chance for Nobody Cared to grab the victory, but it's looking very much likely as he comes through the final few corners to go and take the win of this race and finish P1 with Nobody Cares falling in behind, being P2, falling back by just under 2 attempts. Griffin goes P3, Jack P4. Sid should stay P5 unless Lewis can pull something out in these last few seconds, which he can and goes P5. So Sid drops back. Ty Clear goes P7, and then that is pretty much our grid set. Ropsy Cola and Pipe Tech, I believe, have been lapped, or maybe just Ropsy Cola. Unsure. Oh no, so 3 drivers have been lapped. 12 to 14th. On board with Andreas as he got across the line and just show off some of these drivers before they finish. So at the end of the race, the most penalties we had was a 16 seconds by Albert Turtris and Dougie following a close P2 with 12 seconds. he actually goes into the pit. So I don't even know if the game allows that. I guess they do, but why? You're going to lose out of position to Mirror. He does. All right. Well, that was the grids. That was it was a very good race, I think. Some of the strategies didn't work out but the way drivers wanted,
Yeah,
but
diverse strategy to be fair. Very diverse strategy. Thank you everyone for turning up though, and it's been amazing. An amazing season for everyone.
so
I
that
think
is
the attendance. I think it goes to say something where the only noticeable attendance drop is the last race, and every other race has. I think it's not as if we had like 12 either. We had 15 drivers. So we had more signed up to
so
people that had
that
last
is
minute to
the
happen.
grid
So
for the end of the race. Doctor Still takes the win, followed by Nobody Cares with a close P2, split by two temps. Griffin P3, Jack, then Lewis, Sid, Clear, Wolfrin, Andreas, and Alberta Tetris is the top 10. The rest were unlucky to score points or get penalties that dropped them out of the point finishing positions. Some down to strategy, some down to just tiny mistakes that cost them a slight position loss. With yeah, that is it. That's been a good season. It's been a very close season, I think, all the way through, especially towards the end, as we had some more drivers come the end of the season. We'll be back, I believe. The calendar isn't out yet, but I imagine we'll be back for the next race around 4th, maybe 5th of February. Or no, actually, it'll be 3-week break. Potentially, the first race might be 10th, 11th, if not the 17th. But I'm not in charge of that, so don't quote me on it. But that's what I think might happen. But yeah, that is it for this season of Division 2. We'll be back tomorrow with Division 1 and see. I think Myth has already actually got it. Or no, Marius is close. So next race is also a title decided around Austria. For this division though, Ryman Bremer has won the championship with 119 points. He has done quite well throughout the season. So has Drizzle. Drizzle missed out 3 races, but still managed to grab onto P2. Obviously, we had some drivers join a bit late. So, for example, Jack, Doctor Still, I imagine they would be up there. However, joining late to cost them quite a bit. The constructors title is going to be a McLaren. I think Ferrari could jump up potentially. He thought just ahead of the Alpine. But other than that, it's been a close fight, and we'll be excited to see for the end of or the start of next season.
yeah, goodbye everyone.
Tom, actually, do you want to do interviews? Sure. You know what? Yeah.
Completely forgot about you. To be fair.
Say it again. Lewis, right?
I think so.
Then, but I've got to go.
Hello.
Hello there. Welcome. P1 and P2. Doctor Still is our race winner. Finally, managing to get the win this season after losing out so many times. You had to sum up that race in 5 words. How would you describe it?
Um, so probably
Facts.
close, locked in, which is 2 words, and
Have I been disconnected?
fun and clean. Fun and clean.
Right, well, he was pretty close to losing the position.
Yeah.
Somebody cares for wings was actually able to get under just about 2 tenths of you, which is really unfortunate. He had a bit of a wobble coming out of turn 3, which cost him pretty much the win of the race, especially after
Don't
last
remind
week.
me.
Wanted to want to try and get a win. But that was a good race. I think you had some alternative strategies that race as well, especially with the early safety car. It
Yeah,
changed up everything. I thought some people were gonna go for the one stop. We saw some go for the one stop and get a puncture. Rapsicola in the last few laps getting a puncture, then getting
yeah.
lapped.
I noticed Griffin was really struggling with the one
Yeah,
stop, and I knew that Tyre is too high to do a one stop. So then I did a two stop, and when I saw that I could put 2 laps earlier during a safety car, I definitely did. And then kind of locked in at the end when I got to 3-6. So yeah,
somebody
good
cares.
race from Snowbody also.
You
Thank you.
I feel like maybe you didn't have the best of qualities, but you had a great race, managing to get up to P2. You what would you think? Was it just the pace, or would you think you did the right call and strategy there?
So I always, well, starting on the harder allocation helps a lot. I always end up doing that because, as we saw in Qatar and this race, with the final pace in the stint in the final pace. But yeah, if I didn't get my wing broken by Roxy outbreaking himself on lap 2, then that could have been mine. But it's something to learn for next race, and hopefully bring into next season for a good title fight.
I imagine next season pretty close. Everyone is going to be fighting. Imagine you're going to have multiple race winners. Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. Are you guys excited for the next season? Have you guys begun practicing for your sign-up tracks, or?
Definitely,
Beyond excited.
definitely.
We were just talking about this actually. How
Our
with the
fastest laps.
yeah, the fastest laps being at 6.893, 6.838, and 6.887 between the top three. Like that shows how close the pace is for absolutely everyone, and the fact that we had a 2/10 finish right at the end. Like I can't wait,
For a second,
and I'm
I thought
hoping
Doctor
that
Still was going to lose out the pole for making a mistake, but he managed to bounce back in the very end of quali to get P1.
hmm,
Yeah, that's been a good season.
Yeah,
Obviously, you guys joined a bit late, so weren't able to make a charge for the title. But next season, I imagine it's going to be pretty close. Calendar is not out yet, but I imagine it'll be out a week before the new season. I think we have some pre-season races planned as well, which I won't get an announcement about that. Yeah, that is going to be the end of the season and the end of this stream, and we'll see you guys for round 6, round 1, wherever it may be.